Good evening and welcome back to the We Are Rise show. I'm your host, Brett C. Collins. How you doing out there? What's going on? We are doing an early show today at 7 because I'm going to pan to President Trump speaking the kickoff to the 10-day rally for the 250th anniversary leading up to July 4th. So it's going to be fantastic. I want to get into that right away because I was looking at it. Let's just dip in and see what's going on. HelloPill.net. Thank you, Thea, with 1,000 gold pills. Good to see you. Yeah, everybody's, I guess matriculating in rather slowly and stuff. So we shall see them very soon. Hello, Rumble. Hello, Pill.net. Let's hear some commentary right now. I wanted to cover this. I think this is important.
And historic is it to be here right now in this moment to celebrate America's
It's the ambassador of the United States,
birthday.
Monica Crowley.
It's known as our semi-quincentennial, which I know is quite a mouthful. I'm sure there are many of you who remember our bicentennial celebration in 1976, right? Well, I was a very, very, very little girl. And although I don't recall every detail of that very special Independence Day, I will never forget celebrating it with my family on the Jersey Shore. Small flag in one hand, sparkler in the other, fireworks overhead, surrounded by friends and neighbors. I remember then how deeply proud I felt to be an American. And that feeling has never, ever left me. Now, here we are 250 years after 1776. It is such an honor to pass on that tremendous sense of pride and patriotism to the next generation of young and young at heart Americans, and to welcome all of you to the kickoff celebration of a truly once-in-a-lifetime event, the Great American State Fair. In the coming days, visitors from all 50 states and all over the world will come to our sparkling capital city to experience the National Mall like never before. And while they are here, they will form lifelong memories of America's big 250th birthday party and gain a renewed sense of pride in our exceptional country. From the moment these gates here open at 10 a.m. each morning to late at night each beautiful summer evening, this is the premier destination for you and for your loved ones to commemorate our 250th. Here in the heart of our nation's capital, you are not only steps away from iconic monuments, museums, and memorials. During the Great American State Fair, you will experience everything from that magnificent Ferris wheel to get a fantastic view of Washington, D.C., to movie screenings, rodeos, concerts, military flyovers, and a roaring patriotic spirit that will bring America's 250th to life for every member of the family.
That's great. That's fantastic.
And the celebration doesn't stop here. This birthday party will continue from sea to shining sea. In the coming days, our nation will enjoy an iconic Mount Rushmore celebration, an international parade of majestic ships in New York, and of course, the biggest fireworks display of all time right here on July 4th. These events are so much more than just dates on a calendar. This is a moment that will inspire a new era of American greatness as we honor our extraordinary history, cherish our God-given freedoms, and look to the future with optimism, excitement, and yes, love of country. This movement, uniting our country to commemorate its 250th birthday, has no greater champion than President Donald J. Trump. None of this would have been possible without him and his tremendous leadership and vision to make this great celebration possible for all Americans. Now, we have a very special evening ahead as we launch the fair and pay tribute to all 56 states and territories with grandeur, ceremony, inspiration, and of course, fun. So please enjoy the sights and sounds of America's big birthday party on this absolutely gorgeous summer night, and welcome to the Great American State Fair. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 55th United States Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, and the 33rd United States Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins.
Okay. We're waiting for the big guy, so I don't think anybody's going to want to hear these people speak. I want to hear the ambassador speak. So we'll check back in. I don't want to listen to everybody speak. I just think it's so far. We'll get to it because I don't want to belabor the show. I got so much stuff to cover and so little time. And so I just want to get to President Trump when he shows his golden tan face so we can see that all play out. I want to cover some stuff today that just was insane that we need to be discussing. WelcomeInPill.net. Hello on YouTube. And yes, on Rumble when everybody slowly walks in because we started the show a half an hour early. So I just want to get to this.
Every election.
There's a lot of good stuff that happened on the Hill today that we need to cover. So here it is, President Trump on the Hill meeting with the senators today. And it's been, let's just say, it was brutal. Some of the commentary we heard, some of the senators tried to fight President Trump. It got ugly. Let's listen to some of this.
It's important. We're doing very well. They want a lot of communists to come in. I'm saying it a little bit differently, but the people that they're pushing are communists, and this country is not going to have communists. Thank you.
Now, he was saying that in regards to what had taken place last night. What was taking place with how the media had overspun three Democrat socialists winning. And let's face it, Democrat socialists, these candidates that succeed were Democrats already what? They dominate the landscape in New York by 50 points in suburban, rural, and swing districts. There was no evidence of national viability, an anti-incumbent wave that was just basically solely foisted upon by the media, not solely on ideology. All right, all the outlets were amplifying it. That's the media, the fake media, to surge and fundraise and polarize off of this. So the local leftists overplayed their hand. So big whoop-de-doo. It just shows you right now how the fact is that the Democrat Party, all right, they have put themselves in this position. Some of the people that are Democrats, like that are Jewish Democrats, who basically had their attitude about how they stood about the war and Israel and stuff, they chose a side, and now they got pushback. And now they want to use their Judaism against us and say it's our fault, and not call out the Democrat socialists and say, we've created this counter movement. We didn't create nothing. I didn't go to Columbia University. I can give two goddamn shits about that. All right? I don't care what happened in some way about this Palestine movement, free power. I don't give a fuck about that. You guys allow these people to get their foot in the door, and that is what promulgated this out. And so now you have them picking off one by one, okay, in these special election primary elections, beating moderate Democrats that would normally win, and it's too late. It's over. And so the communists are moving in. You gave them a foothold, and New York is taking over. It's a captured state. It's garbage. It's escape from New York now. It doesn't reflect America. New York is not America, okay? It's a melting pot of the third world shithole that you call the rest of the fucking world, okay, of garbage humans. That's what New York is, all right? They'd rather watch their Knicks and then burn down the city, watch their baseball, burn down the city. They want to watch all that stuff. But when it comes time to pay up, oh, your taxes go up and everybody's dipping out. Good luck. We got more to go here. Just let me know when Trump goes on, and I will we'll cue right to him and stuff. Let's continue on with this because I just got so much more. So President Trump did not hold back against Republicans. This was big. There was a lot of fights that were going on when President Trump came to visit the Senate. Yes, it was brutal. So here it is. He did not hold back on Senate Republicans in the meeting. Trump spent 90% of his lunch railing on rhinos, Murkowski, Cassidy, Mitch McConnell, per Punchbowl News. I don't like a few people. That's okay. I think you know who they are. But Bill Cassidy got in. He had to be restrained. Now the question is, was he restrained by the Secret Service? Wait till you see this shit. See, I want to say this though. Let me just say this. So you wonder why Tucker Carlson, even though I know it's a ploy, says, I don't respect the Republican Party. I don't know who they are anymore. Yeah, I get it. I totally get all that stuff. I don't just sympathize and empathize with you, but we have a two-party system. Everything else is garbage. Yeah, you could be an independent like I used to be, but it's not going to help you in the primaries. It's not going to help you win elections. I mean, Ross Perot, all right, got 19% back in 92. That's not going to carry you weight, and then he eventually dropped out. It's not really going to what? So you're going to have to choose a side. Whether you like it or not, hold your nose. That's the bottom line. You can't just say, all right, bye-bye, Republican Party. It's not going to help you if you deal with primary states and you have to vote in primary areas for your candidate, which I do in Florida all the time. So I'm stuck being a Republican. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the Republican Senate that suck, that are garbage humans. Let's continue.
I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. I think you know who they are. But I'll give you that information someday. But for the most part, we have a really unified party. And
look at him.
I said it very strongly.
He's bumping next
we have
to
the
him.
hottest country anywhere
Look
in
at
the world.
Thune's reaction.
We're the most powerful. We're the
arrogant,
smartest. We're the most respected.
Wearing a blue
2
tie.
years ago, we were a laughing
He's a fucking
stock
traitor.
all over the world.
How much blackmail compliment do I have on him?
People represented us. Every leader, we just left G7. Every leader, and we had a lot of people in addition to G7, as you know, came. Everyone said, what we've done in a year and a half is a miracle.
So Thune had walked away and he had a smirk on his face. He didn't like it. Too fucking bad. I think the bottom line is that he's laid the wood towards the senators, and I got to give it to Rick Scott. Rick Scott holding it together. Our great Florida senator, basically laying into the wood. He should have been the majority leader. And I believe that time is up, that he may be a possibility. And I've said here on this channel, the We Are Rise show, that the possibility of the Save America Act will come in sometime in August, before September. I think so, for very different reasons. But I think that's what's going to happen. Let me know when Trump goes on, if anybody's watching, and we'll put it on here. Keep me apprised, Trusty Turnip. Welcome into the We Are Rise show. How's everybody doing over here? I see you, Wood USA. Thank you for the 219 gold pills. Who else is here? Casey Snowman, what's going on? Yes, Wood USA. Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, right now, I just want to get through this before Trump speaks, and we'll get back to it. I dropped the actual StreamYard. If you want to call in later, we're going to have a long show. So Eric Daugherty puts out, holy crap, Tommy Tuberville reveals President Trump called out the Senate Republicans to their faces. He spoke up. He called people out. He's not taking anything out of the Save American Act. We talked about it, talking about the filibuster, voting out regular filibuster, voting it in. Listen to this.
Number one thing that people want, they want fair elections. We just saw the nonsense in California, and we're seeing the nonsense of these communists taking over our country. And they're not socialists, they are communists. And so President Trump was exactly right. I'm proud of what he did today. He spoke up, he called people out. They had a very good conversation back and forth, but people need to be called out. If you're not going to vote for this country, my God, folks, we are in trouble. And President Trump needs help, and we're not giving him 100% help that he needs.
So you talked about the number of ways that you could pass the SAVE Act. Can you elaborate on that? Is there any movement that would sort of take some pieces out of it that might get the thrust of voter ID across the finish line, Senator?
Yeah, that's a no-go. He's not going to take anything out of the Save America Act. What's in there needs to stay. We just talked about the avenues of the talking filibuster,
proof of citizenship and IDs. That's the bottom line.
And voting it in, because this is, and President Trump's right here. Again, I travel the country. If we don't do something with the filibuster and we don't get things passed, it'll be the last time we'll have a Republican president or a Republican Senate or a House. That's how fast this country is going down to communism. And we need to stop it. We can stop it. It's balls in our court. President Trump said that, balls in your court. I'm here to support you. Let me know if there's anything I can do. But this is what we have to do to save the United States of America.
Yeah, because Thune's a traitor. Thune does not want to do this. Thune does not want to do this at all. He's slow walking this. He's thinking that he could slowly walk and anticipate the next move and see what happens thereafter. Let's check in and see if President Trump came on and stuff. Just let me know if anybody knows that if he came on. I'm checking. Let's see. No, he hasn't on. All the secretaries are there, so they're all speaking. That's great. Let's continue on. So this comes from Amuse. This is what I wanted to point out. As everybody's matriculating in, yes, we started the show early at 7. I wanted to get here to talk about this before President Trump goes on. Most likely he's going to go on around 7:30. You know him. He's always late. He's never early. When is he ever early to begin with? All right, let's continue on. Welcome back, Thea. Hope everything is doing well. Political violence. Lame duck Senator Bill Cassidy exploded out of his seat and began yelling at Trump. He had to be physically restrained. Let me reply. Physically restrained by his own colleagues after Trump exposed him for working with the Democrats against the Iran peace deal. Senate Republicans are in an open revolt against President Trump and the American people. Yeah, they are. So again, I go back to what Tucker Carlson said, and everybody's like, well, Tucker Carlson's only doing this for his own, his own hand job, so to speak. He's only doing to undercut President Trump and get people to not vote for Republicans and, crush him and stuff, even though he supports J.D. Vance in 2028. It's kind of, you scratch your head, you're thinking like, why would you say it? Are you serious about that? Do you really believe? Or are you actually calling this out? Are you saying we need a new party? Yes, I'm all for it. We need a new party because the Senate is completely and wholly captured. There's only a handful of them that are working with President Trump. But the fact that this guy who lost his primary, got his ass kicked, President Trump obviously nominated the man who ran against him. Well, too bad. And now you hear people shooting their mouth off saying, and they have to be physically restrained. This is embarrassment. This is a total embarrassment. And what disgusts me the most about this and stuff, it's done. He basically should say, look, this is what's going to happen. And he's got to turn up the heat. He's got to turn up the heat in a lot of different ways. And look, everybody's seeing how the Senate is acting. Thune is not up for re-election until 2 more years. But it doesn't mean his party, okay, for the people who are up for re-election, have an opportunity to move him aside, or let's get J.D. Vance in there, who's the president of the Senate. As Senator Mike Lee has said, he could come in there and basically move Thune aside and take over this. Is that possible? We'll see. I mean, that's how it was done before we got majority leaders and stuff. Basically, they control their own fiefdom. That's why things don't get passed. That's why people don't have faith. It gets out of the House. Slow as molasses, but it gets out. It's the Senate because these stupid rules and these people that have their own fiefdoms and their own kingdoms inside their majority whip. I mean, it's gross. It's garbage. They're not here for you and I. And so, yes, we need another party. I mean, unless President Trump can get these people to move their ass to fix it, the midterms are going to be fucked. They're going to be wholly fucked. I think in some way, as I look what the Democrat socialists have done in these counties, they move so far to the left that the primary challenges are going to win in some of these basins. It's those local municipality state fiefdoms like New York, Chicago, LA, that they get to rule the roost in some way. The sanctuary, let's just say plenary avenues. So when you really look at it right now, do I think in some way there is a path, there's a way? Yes. All right. Will the Save America Act be passed? Yes, I do believe so. There are some people saying that this whole thing is an orchestration, a theatrical moment in time for something else, that he wants to just put this on blast, and they're just stringing this along for the very, let's just say, moment in time that they will vote on it again, have the votes and pass it. And will it be actually implemented in time for the midterms? So they'll pass it at a later date. The question is, will it be ready for them? Here's a couple other things we're going to move through. I have so many different things. We're going to be jumping all over the place. I didn't have really an extended title because today was more important about the 250th anniversary and everything else. I'm all into it. I'm all into the 10-day anniversary. I think we should all celebrate it, be a part of it. You're an American. I don't care what fucking nationality your family was or where you came from, blah, 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 that you're Irish, you're Italian, whatever. You're an American. You should celebrate it. Get with it, because the bottom line is the communists are ready to take it from you. So President Trump says Iran has informed the U.S. that there are no tolls, insurance costs, no other charges being sought or received by Iran on ships traveling through the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, that's great. Food is desperately needed in Iran. And here it is. Iran has informed the U.S. that despite the troublemaking fake news reporting to the contrary, there are no tolls, no insurance costs, no other charges of any kind being sought or received by Iran or the ships. It's just fake media. It is false information. Negotiations would end immediately. There's so many people on so many different, let's just say, I mean, it's not just the Democrats. You got the Rhino Cuck Republicans. You have also the pro-Israel AIPAC crowd. You have the Jews in general. Everybody's like pulling their hair out. But the bottom line is, this is the truth. This is where we're going. We'll be releasing some of their money that is totally controlled by the U.S. to our farmers and ranchers for the purchase of corn, wheat, soybeans, and more. As I said the other day, the food is desperately needed in Iran, and we will be purchasing more from it exclusively from the United States. That's great. It's fantastic. Good. Yeah, I don't want to. That's fine. Feed the people. No one wants to see 90 million people exterminated. No one. I don't care how much you want this war to end. This is the way. It's the only way. We are not bloodthirsty people. I don't want to see women and children killed. I don't want to see innocents killed like we're in Iraq. It never had to have been done that way. And it was. They steamrolled 500,000 the first week. Women and children. People were just murdered, killed. And you wonder why they hate us. They hate us for a lot of reasons. Yes, we can't trust Iran. They've been killing us left and right. But what is the measure? What is the metric? What is the totality that you can equivalently, let's just say, hey, look, well, over this time you killed a lot of people over here. Now we have to match this by just nuking you. When is enough enough? This is what President Trump is showing you. He's showing you an opportunity that peace deals can be made. And these protracted wars, never-ending wars, can come to an end with what? Real adults at the table with real what? Opportunities to settle these matters without murdering each other to the point or carpet bombing each other into oblivion. All right, I got a couple of more things here before Trump comes back. Let me know if anybody's watching. Let me know, and I'll put it on. Trump comes in because I want to. So President Trump comes out, and here we are. So all the people, all the fence sitters, all the liberals that became all Trump supporters, all the MAGA, the fake MAGA, the woke MAGA, the right MAGA, whatever the fuck it's called, America First. There's so many different names. I don't care. But all the people that were blaming Trump, it's the big oil companies. And look, this is not a surprise. For all of us live in the Southeast who deal with hurricanes all the time, we hear about price gouging all the time. All right? We hear about the supplemental, incremental price checks at the pump. And that's why they have laws in place to make sure they are frozen at the time and they don't rise and escalate. But here, President Trump is pointing out the big oil companies are not dropping their price at the pump, commensurate with the sharply low prices they are paying for oil. Those prices are dropping like a rock. In other words, customers are being gouged. I've instructed the DOJ to immediately start looking into the gasoline prices. Better start going down a lot faster than what I'm seeing President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, look, if you look at it back in 2017 and 18, gas was trading about $68, $65, and I saw it. And the gas was like, what, $1.79, $1.80. It was close to $2. We're at that point now. We're at 69. Last I looked at 69, 68. So he's right. Why is it $1 higher? It should be $1 lower. We should be at that $2.50 mark easily. And forget about the taxes, the city, state, luxury taxes, all these things they do to at the pump that the city and states do to just escalate it. That is, we get that. But right now, when you look at gas, it's $1.50 higher than what it should be. And that's what he's saying. And he's saying there's something wrong here. Why? Because the gas industry doesn't want President Trump there. They want to make sure that they have an opportunity to put someone else in his place. Why would they want to do it? They should be his best friend for what he's done to Venezuela and open up new, let's just say, opportunities for them. Why would the gas industry, the gas, LNG, oil, why would they be that way to President Trump? Why? He's created new jobs for them. He's given them more viability, more opportunity. Why do this? Why sabotage it? Because someone is controlling them and trying to force this number onto them to undercut and what? Steal the midterms. That's what it's about. Who are they? What are they? Who has the power to subvert Chevron, Mobil, Exxon, you name it, BP? Who is in charge? Is it the Bank of London? Is it the syndicate that has a wider swath of control than? I don't know. But he's making a point to know that. Let's check in and see President Trump has arrived. I knew he was going to be late, so that's why I started the show early. Okay, let's listen to this.
Santa, put your name on the top of his list. The Statue of Liberty started shaking a bit, and the eagles will fly. There's gonna be hell with Union of the free start ringing the bell. You'll feel like the whole wide world raining down on you. Oh, watch to your courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Of the red, white, and blue. Of the red, white, and blue.
Yes, the military band playing Toby Keith. Thank you, Thea, for 300 gold pills. Welcome in, everybody. We started early for today's show. I see you, True Terran. I think Kash Patel's girlfriend just was singing early. What's her name? Alexis something? I don't know. She's a country singer. I know nothing about her. I think she was singing early. So it's the greedy Indians and all the fucking gas stations. Well, you know what? How much control do they have other than raising the price at the pump that is controlled in a lot of states like Florida? There's laws in place that they can't gouge. They can go within the max limit. So you have to consider, I don't know what other states have. We know California and New York and New Jersey are just off the cuff. All right, let's get out of it. If anybody's monitoring, let me know, because I'm on YouTube watching this with the White House channel, and I found that to be the best one. RSBN goes in and out, and they interview too many people, and I don't really give a fuck, and I don't want to watch someone else's podcast. All right, let's continue on. There's a lot more stuff. President Trump had the NATO Secretary in General in there. Listen to what he said today. Listen to this. Holy crap. After launching a DOJ investigation, President Trump calls out by names of oil gouging. There you go. Price gouging. It's Mobil, Chevron, Shell, BP. It's all of them, or a lot of them. The oil prices have been coming down so much that they weren't seeing anything at the pump. By comparison, we should be, in my opinion, at $2.25 right now. I said $2.50, but realistically, we're $1.50 higher than where we were at another time when gas was trading about $68. And what we're doing big investigations on it. You know, they're not reducing prices. Look out. We are sending out, and I think 19 million barrels came out of it. It's not good, and it's not good for them because think about the penalties that they'll pay. Because you know they're not going to get a slap on the wrist. They're going to be fined. There'll be probably people prosecuted. All right, there'll be new shuffling around of CEOs. because you'll find out that this type of game that's being played was double dealing to orchestrate a coup d'etat on President Trump on the midterms in some way. If that is what is going to be uncovered, and the fines and the penalties, what's that going to go into? It's going to go back into the coffers of the Treasury. And how is the Treasury going to do it? We're going to get tax rebates on that. Think about it. We all pay gas, federal and state taxes on gas. So we'll probably receive a tax rebate based upon that if lawsuits prove in some way, in some jurisprudence, in some legal court, that they're able to prove that there is let's just say a syndicate, an orchestration of a group to facilitate this largesse, control and raising the prices in some way. There's so many things that you can look at this and say, hey, look, price gouging in Florida, it's a felony. It's not only a state crime, it's a high crime. It's tier 1. When you look at these crimes in federal law and everything, we have fraud, we have bribery, all these people being indicted. You could consider that this is federal fraud because the states are implementing taxes that you're paying on when gas is really supposed to be at a commensurate price at $2.25 or $2.50. And so the states right now are going to get involved with this too. You could see many states right now suing if the DOJ is involved with this. Listen to this.
Justice to do an investigation for oil companies that you said gas prices were not coming down quick enough.
That's right.
You are concerned that there is price gouging going on, taking advantage of the prices. Sir, can you elaborate on that?
So it's ExxonMobil, it's Chevron, it's Shell, it's BP, it's a lot of them. The gasoline or the oil prices have come down so much, and we are not seeing anything at the pump by comparison to what it should be. We should be, in my opinion, at $2.25 right now at the pump. And we're higher than that. And we are doing a big investigation on it. Yeah, they're not reducing the prices commensurate with what's happening. Look, we are sending out, think of it, 19 million barrels came out yesterday. That is a flood. That's like a gusher. That's an oil gusher. And they should be much lower, the gasoline prices, which really is what people see more than anything else, but for their car. But the gasoline prices should be much lower at the pump. And the oil companies are possibly gouging. I hope they're not, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble.
Well, the question is, who is gouging? Okay. Are they all some type of consortium? That's what I was thinking of, working as a collective to do this, or is individual groups doing this? I mean, when you really ask the state AGs to investigate this as well, working with the Justice Department, you'll come up with a better answer because every state is different based upon the federal tax and the state tax that is levied and bevied into that right now. Yeah, $389. It's a little higher here in Tampa because Tampa, like Miami's expensive. I know where you are. So that's good. I know Costco in Tampa, north of me right here I think it was $390, $395, something like that. It's coming down. But I think overall, everybody knows when you get a hurricane, you live in Florida, you South Carolina, North Carolina, you understand that they freeze at the time when a hurricane's going to hit. DeSantis freezed all that stuff. He freezed everything that you would use as a parcel, as a parchment in some way that you would need, whether it's groceries, whether it's food, water, gas. They put a freeze on goods. They stop things from being what? So a 12-pack of bottled water or one jug of water is not $30, $50, $100. So it's the same thing they do with gas. They could freeze that and they could force, and they tell people, go take pictures. So if there's a gas station charging a price that's higher than the national average that's based on Gas Buddy in the state of Florida, boom, they go after you. They will go after you. And so I think that a lot of places, I know down south when I was in Delray and then in Boca, they had there was a couple of gas stations that were playing games and stuff like that. And they got busted and they got a huge fine. And like, you want to pay $100,000 fine, $200,000 fine? Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I don't think that's a good idea. Let's move on. There's much more to go. Let's get into some of the elections that took place last night. Some in New York, some in North Carolina, South Carolina. So here it is. You have Van Jones saying why the roof is collapsing on establishment Democrats. Well, it's obvious. They pushed the envelope so far to the left of center that the only thing that they can come up with is allow these progressives to walk through the door because they've created so many batshit crazy ideas that they allow to have candidates to find those ideas and run for Congress. And now you wonder why Dan Goldman lost. Dude, Chuck Schumer's gone. When you see that these people are going to be picked off one by one, good luck. But they're also utilizing this in some way to create an anti-Semitic argument and blame us on social media. Blame me, blame anybody about it. Well, I'm not a Democrat socialist. I'm not a Muslim scumbag, a third world piece of shit with dogmatic fucking religious views. I'm not that person. So why don't you focus on those people? Don't focus on me. Don't waste your time with me. All right? Because I'm not the one who voted for these people. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. And they are turning this on MAGA people, MAGA, America first. Instead of learning from the 2024 presidential election that they should be running candidates who appeal to Americans outside the nation's deep blue bubbles, Democrat primaries have been dominated by outright socialists and extremists. It's gotten to the point that even prominent liberal commentators are noticing and including Van Jones. Okay, this is a battle between establishment and insurgency, and the roof is collapsing on the Democrat Party. This is a dead man's party. This is a dead man's party. 3 candidates backed in New York City by Mayor Zohan Mondami, Democrat socialist. He's a commie. Ugandan communist. He might even be a terrorist. We don't know. Secured wins in the respective House races on Tuesday. The victors include progressive Brett Lander, Democrat socialist Claire Valdez, and this beaut, Daryl Eliza Avila Chevalier. I don't know. I can't even fucking pronounce her name. But she, apparently, when she doesn't have any napkins around or a handkerchief, she likes to use an American flag to wipe her ass or wipe her hands. Man, I can tell you right now, long live vigilantism. I'm telling you, it's coming to you. I know it's at a theater right now, but long live vigilantism. It's coming to let's just say, a metropolitan area as we speak. If Mondami gets a hat trick, 3 out of 3, is this a new era for Democrat Party? Jones told host Caitlin Collins before the elections are called. President Trump is like 258 to like 2. And they're saying he had 3 people. And they're blowing the smoke up this fucking guy's ass and making him oh my God, this is just massive. And while they undercut President Trump, and they don't give any what? They don't give him any just due about anything that is taking place. If Mondami gets a hat trick 3 out of 3, this is a new era for Democratic Party. It's disgraceful. I mean, just let's listen to it a little bit.
Well, New York City matters because the 2 most exciting left-wing candidates are here, AOC and Mondani, but also this is the stronghold for the establishment, Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. This is a battle between the establishment and this insurgency, and the roof is...
I got to cut to this. Sorry. Got to cut to this. My bad. Not like you care, but we got to cut. Got to play the artist. Fuck. Christopher Macchio.
Your faith was strong. You needed proof.
Yes, Citizen Vigilante. I heard it's a good movie. I haven't seen it yet. I don't go to movie theaters, so I'll wait till it comes out.
She tied you to a kitchen chair. She broke your crown. She cut your hair. And from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Good song.
Hallelujah.
Leonard Cohen did it the best.
Hallelujah.
If anybody knows who Leonard Cohen is. There's Christopher Macchio. He's an opera singer, award winner.
Baby, I've been here before, seen this room and I walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you.
This is music.
I've
This is
seen
real
your
music.
flag on the marble arch, and Love is a victory march. It's colder. It's a broken hallelujah. Hallelujah. Did my best, but it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya. And even though it all went wrong, I stand before the Lord I saw with nothing. I'm a conqueror, hallelujah.
How cool is that to be singing with an award-winning opera singer? I think it's fantastic. I don't know about you. It gives me chills. That guy should be honored. What is that, a B2? Is a stealth? Is that a stealth A1? Look at that thing. Look at the wingspan on that. I got to stay with some of this music because I actually listen to Christopher Macchio. I go to operas. I love opera. I love jazz. I love blues. But I do go to operas. My wife, I got to drag her. I usually go by myself. When I tell her, like, you don't go, I'll have to rent a hooker.
God bless you.
That's a good song. I mean, do you want to listen to it, or I got more to go? I'll play a little bit of this. They're playing the music, so. This band is pretty good. Is this the Army? I believe it's the Army, right?
I think you're headed for a breakdown.
He always plays Gloria. Like, Gloria is always included in it. You ever listen to the lyrics? Have you seen the movie? I mean, it's an old movie, 80s movie. Kathleen Turner is in it.
All the voices in your head.
Calling Gloria.
Gloria, Gloria, don't you think you're falling? Gloria, if everybody wants you, Gloria, why isn't anybody calling? Gloria, you don't have to answer, even banging on the line. Oh, calling Gloria.
Yeah, Laura Branigan. She's fantastic. I know. She's dead. She died young.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in recognizing distinguished guests joining us for this historic celebration.
You couldn't find
Speaker
me?
of the House,
Freddie B?
Mike
That's
Johnson.
surprising.
Acting United States Attorney General Todd Blanche. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon. Acting Secretary of Labor Keith Sonderling.
Wow.
Administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Dr. Mehmet Oz. Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation Kash Patel. Secretary of Homeland Security Mark Wayne Mullen. And we also recognize the dedicated National Park Service Rangers and the officers of the United States Park Police, whose service helps preserve and protect our nation's most treasured places. Please join us also in acknowledging Downrange, the United States Army's career rock band who just performed Laura Branigan's Gloria. The President's own United States Marine Band under the direction of Colonel Ryan Nowlin. United States Marine Corps and the Joint Armed Services Corps for helping bring tonight's celebration to life. We are honored to welcome members of the Diplomatic Corps and distinguished foreign dignitaries from around the world. And finally, we recognize the most important guest of all. You sitting in those chairs here on the National Mall, Americans gathered all around the country tonight. The patriots, the workers, families, veterans, dreamers, and citizens whose love of country has sustained this great republic for 250 years. Thank you for joining us as we celebrate tonight the United States of America.
You think the security for UFC 250 No Dog was big? Wait, this security's got to be massive. You just don't see it. Look who's just sitting in the front row. Another 80s classic, Walking on Sunshine. Does anybody who knows this, who wrote this song?
And I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door.
Does anybody know this song? 1985.
Now every time I go for the mailbox, gotta hold myself down.
Michael J. Fox was featured in this movie.
'Cause I just can't wait till you ride me, you're coming around. Sing it! I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa! I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa! I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa! And don't it feel good? Hey! All right now, and don't it feel good? I used to think maybe you love me. Now I know that it's true.
No, it's not the Bengals Senior Polo. It's a one-hit wonder. But they had another song that was good, but it didn't really hit the top 10. Eddie B, what's up? Why? How come you didn't able to find me? Am I being blocked on Build? I know I'm being blocked on Rumble. Is everybody at Rumble saying you started early? Didn't get an alert? Yep. I got dinged on YouTube again. Language. I don't care because I'm not monetized over there. You know, I don't really give a shit. It's impressive to see the range of songs. Yeah, no, dog, it is. It's very impressive, and I like the classic of what they're doing. Yeah, I am too. Rock and roll and rhythm and blues and myself. I appreciate a good swath of stuff. Just don't give me rap. All right, don't give me the hip hop. Don't give me that fucking shit. The only stuff is as good as like before 1995. But it's not music I listen to.
Tonight we honor those who stand watch. And
yes,
the
Katrina
call
and the
dedicate
Waves.
their lives
Good job,
to
Mountain
serve
Ninja.
others. Accompanied by the United States Park Police and National Park Service Honor Guards, please welcome the Chairman and CEO of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, Frank Siller.
Okay, we'll get out of this because we want to have a discussion. I don't want to play all this stuff. Let me get back to some of the other things I want to talk about that were really intense. Maybe I'll just move this forward. Okay. Okay. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about what happened in New York. Aaron May put out about the progressives sending a message. Let me move on from that. I'll put some more stuff. Here was something that was interesting that I want to show you. Did anybody hear about the post office? I know Trump 1 is a big United States post office, whatever. I think her son works for one of them. I know I'm not a big fan, but the Postmaster General today, David Steiner, last name Steiner, told senators that under a proposed rule, the USPS, the United States Postal Service, will refuse to deliver any mail-in ballots unless the states provide their voter rolls to the Trump administration. So New York, California, Illinois, and there's several other states that are refusing to do so. Uh-oh, not going to be good. If states want mail-in voting, they should be willing to prove their voter rolls are accurate. Election integrity isn't optional. It's non-negotiable. This is the way. Fantastic. We're going to have so much. Look, it's either one of two things, and I never thought we would get to a midterm election. I never thought we would get to that point. I've always stated in some way, there is something that's going to escalate and block it and prevent it from happening. But if we are to get to it, all right, in some way, how many states can be nullified, voided out and nullified? Yes, Katrina and the Waves trust turn on. Yep. How many states can be nullified because they want to play loose, fast and loose with this? I mean, they seem to think in some way that they can get away with all this stuff. And that's the problem. That's the problem we're facing, because I think a lot of these people are so vitriolic. They're so arrogant. They're so indignant. The hubris is just off the chart. And they think, doesn't matter. We're just going to move forward. I also think that the whole thing with Spencer Pratt, the election in L.A., and also the election for governorship is still under investigation, and I think something is going to come from that. So I'm not completely sure that we're going to see. I think what it is that if we are to uncover the mass amount of election fraud that was just happening in the primaries that were leading up to these scenarios that President Trump was pointing out yesterday at his rally in Pennsylvania regarding Spencer Pratt, regarding the governorship, the gubernatorial race with Steve Hilton and Becerra, and many other different facets where everything was sketch. I think that this is going to force upon the Senate to move. And will Thune be removed or will it be sidestepped? That's the point of discussion that you need to really think about. I think it's going to be sidestepped. I don't think it's going to take, 21 senators to vote to remove him as majority leader, something of that matter, and to replace him with somebody else. And are we going to have that time? I think that something will take place that he will have to step aside. He'll be forced to under duress, maybe because he'll be blackmailed and cajoled like Lindsey Graham is, or whatever the compromise that they have on him will be. He'll have to show a little leg in his ass to just step aside and maybe let the president of the Senate come in, and that's J.D. Vance. So here's one of the cretins, Muslim scum, third world riffraff, raised the hate of America, wants to defund police. Yeah, these people don't belong in a country, never mind in Congress. I forgot to get napkins, so I wiped my hand with the American flag. Let me tell you now. There hasn't, honestly, I've been preaching what is coming. Oh, they have to do something about it. When is Tom Homan going to stormtroop in to make sure that they get rid of this filth and wrath in New York? It's probably going to be after the election. Everything is going to be accelerated after the election because they're slow walking this now. Even though they indicted, 10 people, 9 people, and they got 450 years Antifa. And that's good. That sets a precedent for every time you want to go what you did in New Jersey, what you're doing in Portland, just arrest them, charge them with the crime, and now the precedent said you'll get 50 years. You'll get 100 years. You know what? You won't make it out of prison. You'll be fucking fucked in the ass, bleeding out until you die. You will be what? Raped in prison until you die. All right? Just like all the people that you defend that are actually from third world shitholes raping and murdering and killing people, but you don't care because you're being paid by some fucking NGO and it's okay. These are the people that you should fucking loathe and hate. They make me sick. Don't get me started on what we talk about all the other time, which I get dinged on, but we'll get to that. Listen to this.
I'm also the only Muslim in my family.
Yeah.
I reverted 3 years ago. Actually, the friend who pushed me to do it asked me, why
Take
have
off
you
that
fasted
do-rag.
for 4 years and yet you haven't taken your shahada? She's here today. And when she asked me that, I thought, that is a great question. And I thought for myself, why I hadn't taken the
So while all the leftist Democrats that are Jews, Goldman, Schumer, many of them, they cry for me Argentina. No, they cry for me Palestine. As Trump puts them in their place all the time, calls them out as the new Palestinian army. What do you think has now walked in the back door to replace them? And now you want to turn this around and say, it's us, it's MAGA, it's America First, it's everybody on X. We hate it. We hate Jews. We hate all the people. No, what you did was what? You created this environment. You allowed this to happen. And now you want to turn around and blame us while they basically undercut us through the back door and try to what? Steal our election through communism and supplant this fucking bullshit that everybody's like, oh, we're all going to get a free lunch, a free dinner. Oh, we're going to get a free apartment. Hey, you don't have to pay for a car. Insurance, someone else will pay for it. All this shit is bullshit. And anybody that sells you this nonsense is full of crap. The reason why healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare is through the roof, Social Security is we're going insolvent is because of what? The grift, the graft, the fraud. What? They indicted 450 people. They arrested 450 people, and they had billions of dollars of fraud. We don't even know what you said paid out over the decades-long time. Trillions of dollars of money just going out the door. And how much of that is commensurate with our what? Our national debt. It's all equivalent to, you can't not point a finger and say, that's the reason why South America is all flipping back red or flipping back conservative, not communist, democratic in some way.
Yeah. But it was seeing how all of my friends who were showing up to organizing, who are Muslim, were showing up in the space, and the grace and love and passion that they had in these spaces of social justice that really pushed me to join the faith, and wanting to make sure that we are reflecting that I'm reflecting that in every space that I'm in, and that, inshallah, we make it to Congress, that we're reflecting that in the halls of power as well.
And now they blame us. It's them. It's these shithole areas of New York, all right, Boston, all these places in the Northeast that basically allow this type of rhetoric, and you allow this type of sanctuary city fiefdom to grow and escalate. And that's what it is. That's the bottom line about all this stuff. Here's another one from Johnny Maga. He puts this out. Here's another one. And President Trump ripped him. This is Conway's ex. Ripped him to pieces. Absolute banger from Trump. Wow, look at this. Mr. Conway, a Trump deranged loser at the highest level, is getting absolutely crushed in the primaries. He'll end up at 5% of the vote and rather a weak field of young and aggressive communists. No wonder his husband dumped him like a dog. He called him his husband, Kellyanne, his husband. Interesting. This is a truly unattractive person, both inside and out. Have a nice life, George. Obviously, your Trump derangement syndrome, okay, not only just undercuts your marriage because you couldn't handle it, even though Kellyanne says, it's been a while. It's been going on for a while and stuff. No, it just made it worse in some way. Let's see if President Trump is here. Let me get to this right now. Let's see what's going on. I want to get back to this. I want to flip back. I don't. This was the whole point of the show. I wanted to make sure that covering it, and there's some great musical act. Let's see what's going on right now, and I'll get back to it. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Let me say hello, everybody out there, because I got to get to a lot of thank yous. Thank you, Thea, for the cookie. Trusty Turnip, good to see you again. Gifted the cookie. Thank you for airing this, Brett. Wearing my badge proudly. Yeah, I mean, look, I started the show early. Make sure the alerts on Pilled, on YouTube, and Rumble are working. A lot of people said they didn't get an alert. Usually all my shows start at 7:30, almost all of them. If there's a special event, consider a 7 o'clock time, an early time, especially about Trump. But I wanted to get this out there because it's now 8 o'clock, but no difference. We're going to cover this. Senor Polo, my friend, thank you for the can. The mainstream media are going to support these socialists. Of course they are. Darlo, thank you for the can. Amazing. Goosebumps. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is great. Senor Polo, gift the can. Democrats replacing the leftists with communist socialists. Yeah. And see the test, that is coming. The medal that is going to be, let's just say, shown will be based upon these primary candidates, a really MAGA staunch crowd, Republicans going against these leftist communists. And this is going to be the test. This is going to be the test if we can save our country or not. But the thing is with the Save America Act, it can't go on too late. I think it's going to come in probably around August, okay, when the recess comes back. Senor Polo, gift of the shades. Gas will increase substantially, but come down pennies at a time. Well, right now, gas is trading about 68. So President Trump is saying at that number, because the sweet spot is 77, then gas should be $1 cheaper, at least $1 cheaper. And it's not. The question is why? Why is it slow walking out there in some way? Because they're hedging their bets. They believe in some way. The forecasters, the prognosticators, they are in some way thinking this deal that has been this truce, this armistice, this timeout, whatever you want to call it, with Iran, will continue on. They don't have any faith in Israel. They think Israel is going to go buck wild, naked, and they're going to just fucking drop a nuke. They're going to recoil, and they're going to do a Samson option. That's probably in their cards. So when you think about it, all the hedge funders, all the people that are shorting and selling for futures or what have you are looking like this, the speculators saying, this peace deal is not going to go. Let's just keep it at this right now, and let's wait a while. Give it another week. If we can give it another week, it might drop 50 cents. Okay? Give it 2 weeks, it might drop 75 cents. So I think what it is there are slow walking the short while they projecting a long scenario because they don't trust Israel. That's the problem. That's where we are. That's the dilemma. Senior Apollo, gift of the shades. Gas will increase substantially. All right, Darla, gift of the can. Love you, Brett, for posting all the latest news. Hi, chat. Yeah, the best of the best. Yeah, where's Marshall? Marshall is on a Tinder date, so I don't know where he's at. So he just told me he's not going to be available, probably on a date. Thank you, Thea, for the 300 gold pills. What's up, Curious Cat? Thank you for the cookie. Afternoon, Trusty Turnip Can, lurking, RSPN. Let you know. I'm using the White House one because I like the White House one. It doesn't go in and out. Everybody's on. Excuse me, my eyes just got hair, doggy hair in. Is really good, and I think it works well and stuff. Just keep me apprised when Trump comes on. As soon as it is, boom, we're gonna go right to it. All right, I got a couple more things we got to cover. I'm gonna skip the long things, but here's the short of everything that I was talking about. I didn't put this in the title because I don't want to be dogmatic. I don't want to be flagged. If you're using terms like goy slop, you're using anti-Semitic things, Rumble and YouTube and X, they're picking up all the algorithms and they're looking to, let's just say, crush you. And they're doing it all over the place. And also, if you're using the N-word, let's just say superfluously, like just basically not using it in context, but using it just like saying it, right. And they're doing this. So what they are is they are pigeonholing me. So I got to be careful about my linguistics and my rhetoric, how I speak here. But if I fought the good fight when I told them, like, hey, if I'm discussing an article on Mediaite that is speaking in this matter, well, then it didn't come from me. And that's copyrighted, and I'm allowed to air it. So fuck right off. Ousted New York City Democrat warns anti-Semitism. I told you this is the reverb and will be the undoing of the U.S. right after he was banned from New York City coffee shop over Israel support. Let me tell you right now. And I will say this because, Thomas called me yesterday and we were talking about this. And I said to him, I'm against all those types of bans. You should be allowed to walk into any place, okay, and not burn down the joint, not trash the place, not chimp out, not monk out, not nagger out, not do anything stupid. Just go in there cordially and, be a customer and be served. But I understand the concept of like we have the right to refuse you service based on anything. And they do have a right to do it. But if you're gonna do that, you shouldn't point out the fact of using their religion as an underpinning. Okay? So if you're gonna basically tell Dan Goldman, hey, don't come in here because you're a Jew and we can't support you because of pro-Palestine and you're a Zionist and all this other stuff. How about you just don't say anything? You just have the right to refuse and you don't have to answer. You don't. But you don't have to make it such a spectacle where there's going to be blowback. There's actually civil rights involved here and you're going to be sued for doing that. And so I'm against that type of rhetoric. All right. But I do believe in the hospitality industry. I know that because I was in it for a long time. They have the right to refuse you nonetheless and regardless. And you don't have to say why. You could say, the person was rude, despicable, use language I didn't like. You could say things that are not against the Civil Rights Act of 65. Yeah, you can. And it works. So be it. Here we are. Let's play it.
A long time ago, I won't say how long, I was inspired to go to law school by my idol, Jack Greenberg, who was the Jewish head of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund for 20 years and stood side by side with Thurgood Marshall in litigating and winning Brown versus Board of Education.
Yep, here we go.
Jews have been at the forefront of every single civil rights issue in this country for the past century.
There's the bagel slop daughter.
And Jews have given back so much to this country. As history has taught us, anti-Semitic tropes and stereotypes, some of which I heard personally on this campaign, will ultimately be the undoing of our democracy if we all don't lean in and speak out, even if it's not politically expedient.
See, this is the bottom line, and I don't want to listen to this bagel schmear. They're going to use the goy slop term and invert it and say, hey, look, I was denied this. This is pure religious retribution. They're coming after me because I'm a Jew. Playing the victim card. That's what the blacks do. Who taught the blacks how to do it? The Jews. So it's perfectly timed to do that. What I found incredulous and what I found sad in some way that that this actual coffee company would do such stupid, let's just put it this way, just the most ridiculous thing they could do by pointing out all these other things and just saying, and they refund him his money. All they had to say is they served him a coffee, refund his money, thank you, please don't come again. That's all they had to do because they have the right to refuse. They don't have to tell you why, but they did. And that's their folly. And that's why he's using this as a protagonist to run with this. See, they're coming after me, playing the victim card, blaming us. I'm not the guy who owns a coffee shop. I wasn't the barista serving the fucking drink. If I was, I wouldn't fucking turn you down. I don't like you. I'm not going to spit in your face, spit in your coffee. But that's who I am. But again, people have no self-control on every level. So, whatever happens to that coffee shop, shame on you. You should have played it smart. You could have easily refunded the money and said, thank you, but let's just say your service or let's just say your customer service will no longer be necessary. We don't value you as a customer, and that would be fine. And that's all you have to say. Leave out all the, all the stuff that you're going to get dialed in a lawsuit. Stupid. And now they're using this stuff as agitprop to, again, here we go, ADL, what's his name? Gladbit, Goldblit, whatever, Bagel Bit. Yeah, Bagel Bites, he's coming out. It's all us. They're going to sue us all. ADL, Jonathan Greenblatt says the election results in New York City are anti-Semitic. Wait a minute. You're now claiming that the Mandami people that won this election, the extreme far communists, are what? They won this election, ladies and gentlemen, because of anti-Semitic laws. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's you. That's you people. That's you, ADL. You created this nonsense. The actual Democrat Party created this. They set this up as a straw man to attack Christianity, to use the black push a movement to take control of the migration and immigration and all these other things that happen in our country and in Europe and all these other things. And now you're bitching and moaning. You're losing at the polls, all right, that are set aside by far extremists that are Muslims. Hey, don't look at me. I'm not supporting no Muslim scum. Want them all out too. You all got to go. It's closing time. You all got to go. I don't want you here. I really don't. Revoke them all. Let's pull their fucking cards as we can. As the Supreme Court has ruled, come back, we can pull all the green cards. Pull them. So he says right here, the Civil Rights Act's being violated when AIPAC-funded politicians are mistreated. Oh, so only when AIPAC-funded politicians are mistreated. But if you're not AIPAC-funded, it's not a big deal. This is prejudice, plain and simple. Listen to this shit. Wow.
So many Jewish
That's
people
hubris.
in New York. More Jewish people in New York than any other city in our country.
That's right.
Other than Israel, biggest population here. How do they vote now?
Look, I think this is a question for Democrats, for all Americans, to see anti-Semitism explode like this in this city, like you said.
I told
with
you
the
Trump's
most Jewish
late.
people, but
He's
the
late big
highest
time.
number of anti-Jewish incidents. What we saw at this coffee shop shows us that you can harass Jewish people for the price of a cup of coffee.
Right.
To call Dan
See?
Goldman a genocide enabler, Dan Goldman, who has been
See, that's the point. Why? The problem is these people hate Jews. I get it. They're pro-Palestine. I'm not pro-Palestine. I'm just anti-genocide. That's the way I stand. I'm anti-genocide. I don't want to see more wars, women and children, people being exterminated, and then just turn a blind eye. Just like what happened in Iraq, a war we never should have been in, just like the Bush started, just everything with Afghanistan, just like what they're trying to do, carpet bomb Lebanon, okay, and saying, oh, the boogeyman is bad and stuff. Yeah, it's great. Well, let's just murder everybody around there because it's justified. We are justified doing it. We're God's chosen people. See, that's the hubris. That's where, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking people. I'm not arguing his point to validate in terms of what happened to Goldman, because what happened to Goldman was wrong. They have a right to refuse, but they shouldn't have said what they said because now they open themselves up to a lawsuit. However, now this is going to be used as agitprop, deception management, perception management, propaganda. They're going to propagandize this and roll with the punches on this and saying everything is anti-Semitic and we got to what? Make sure that the Samson option is in place because America has been captured and we got to blow it up. Oh, yeah, it's coming. Oh, that's coming.
been a stalwart, American, a member of Congress. By the way, he's criticized Bibi Netanyahu and that government repeatedly. So this is prejudice, plain and simple. And it's disgusting, but I've got to be honest,
You're
it's happening all
disgusting.
over the country. ADL actually has a case against a coffee shop in Oakland, California, that banned a man from getting coffee there because he was wearing a Jewish star. So how is it that Jewish people...
And I agree with that in some way. I don't want to walk into a restaurant, a coffee shop, or anything, okay? Whether he's Jewish or not, it doesn't matter. I don't want to be banned for just walking in and they don't like me because I'm white, or I can't get a job because I'm white, or I can't do this, I can't do that because I'm a Christian. And so I don't disagree with what he's saying, okay? The fact is that happened accelerates the nonsensical attacks. And what it does is it recreates and it exacerbates an argument to a greater portent. And that portent is used, again, as agitprop and facilitated out as propaganda to whitewash the narrative, saying, see, but don't blame us. See, that's the problem. Goldblatt should be calling out the Muslims. Mandami. Those are the people. All right. What he's doing is he's calling out the people that voted for these people, but not the Muslims in place. And he's walking gingerly around this because he knows who the people that are voted for them. Why don't you call them out? Because he can't. He's a wuss. He's a wimp. It's easier to call us out than to call out blacks. Yeah, you can't call out blacks. Well, those days are over. They're garbage humans. Most of that culture is done. No one looks at them as real serious characters or players. You know, they're just another species. A species, that is dwindling based upon how they continue to act. Just like what's going on in Great Britain with the Muslim, let's just say, scum, the North Africans, and every other fucking piece of shit that's murdering and raping all these women and children. Yeah. I mean, where do I drop off, air drop off mass amounts of AR-15s? How do I ship so many guns to Great Britain? How do I do it? Do I work with some underground and do it? I'm joking. I don't want to get arrested. I'm fucking FBI shows at my door. Well, you got FBI. I'm saying, arm these people and let the revolution happen. That's the only way you're going to save your country. That's the only way. Just like we're going to do it here. That's why we're going to do it here. That's why we're going to do it here. I don't want to listen to this bagel schmear nonsense, but he has a point. You should be able to go into a restaurant, a bar, a nightclub, a coffee shop, and not get what? Told, hey, I don't like your shirt, don't come in here, or this. It's one thing in places where you have to wear sandals, you have to wear a t-shirt, you have to look presentable. I get it. There's a dress code. These are things that are arbitrary, that cannot be sued. Some places in private clubs, you can't sue them. But when you start looking at the 1965 Civil Rights Act, which is garbage, should never have been enacted, should have been overhauled a long time ago and changed. But that's where systematically it gets all awry. And that's why things get batshit nutty crazy. And that's the problem. So listen to this broad. This is on, I had this on Getter from Carly Benet. Let me play this. Let me see if I can play this. I don't know why. Can I open this up? Oh, that's why. Oh, I'm sorry, because it's at like 250. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that's exactly
Listen
right.
this.
I mean, the bottom line is New York City is not America. And that's what we're seeing play out across the country. Because to your point,
New York City is not America.
New York City is not America. And that's what we're seeing play out across the
New York City is not America.
Right. I mean, the bottom line is New York City is not America. And that's what we're seeing play out across the country.
It's a third world shithole. No.
Yes,
it's America.
But last night in New
it's
York.
America. It is not representative of every other state in the union. It's a garbage, wholly captured state. Look at the people that are in charge. Look at the people that are running this. Look at the percentages of people that are in there. Where it used to be 85% white. Now it's like, 35%. Garbage. I left. I lived in Brooklyn. We lived in Pearl River. We lived in all these other places. All fucking black. It's all garbage. Shithole. I lived in Jersey. Garbage. Moved to Florida. Moved to Florida in 88. Everything was blonde, beautiful, and gorgeous. It was just beautiful. Yeah, you had that contingency of the Latin crowd and stuff like that, but I didn't live in Miami. I didn't live in Fort Lauderdale then, okay? I think in some way when you really look at it, but the thing is, things were different. When I graduated high school, okay, it was different. And I only did a year and a half when I moved down here because I was accelerated because of the Regents exams, which they pulled from New York. Those are the reasons. You didn't have to, if you passed your class and failed the exam, you couldn't pass your class. You had to do summer school. These Regents tests were hard. So you had to study. You had to be good at math and science. I don't know what it is today. Half these kids can't even fucking read and write. And they go to Harvard. I see these black fucking students that go to Harvard or Princeton or something. I'm embarrassed. Shame on those colleges. Because what they're doing is stealing money from really people that deserve to be there from these fucking people that have no idea what they are. And they're violent because they can't speak, they can't read. And it's not their fault. It's because of the educational system that taught them nothing. It's embarrassing. I'm saddened. But the fact that she says this is brilliant.
Democratic Socialists did prevail in some of these very heavily contested primaries. But at the end of the day, that is not America. Let's not forget, you just mentioned the Mike Lawler race. Kate Conley won the Democratic primary in that seat. That's New York 17. That is in the state of New York, not the city of New York City.
Bingo.
But we are seeing some really strong national security candidates with some really strong backgrounds that in other places where, you know, you're not seeing this super progressive wing of the party take over the Democratic Party in that respective area, you're seeing those candidates prevail. So
what she's saying is that the evidence of a national viability, okay, versus an anti-incumbent wave is what she's saying here. It's not solely on ideology. Its outcome is amplified by the outlets of left-wing media because of the local municipalities where the candidates succeed at, where the Democrats already dominate by 50 points or plus in suburban, rural, and swing districts that are already controlled by Democrats in general. So the surge is what? To fundraise and proliferate and to polarize off of that. And the media knows this. There is no whatever. This was nothing. President Trump, 258 to like 2. That's how many candidates that he put his hand on and said, you're going to win, and they won. I think he had 2 or 3 lost. It's like nothing. But the point is in some, and that never gets what? Amplified, never gets enhanced or augmented. It never gets out there. But the media is like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's not amazing. You have the most progressive left-wing Muslim scum now replacing the Jew bagel schmear, middle-of-the-road Democrats who, this guy, what, Dan Goldman, what? He's the heir to Goldman Levi Strauss? You know, the jeans? Can you believe that? Levi Strauss is owned by a Jew family. Yeah, I don't own any Levi Strauss. And I always look upon where my jeans come from, by the way. You should too. There's a point. But the point is, the guy was what? He was there for a couple of years, and now he's gone. He's a piece of shit, and no one cares about him or that. The bottom line is, it's really about New York. New York is gone. New York is gone. New York is gone. And you should, if you are there, or you believe in it, do you think it's something that's going to happen in some way? Something's going to change? Good luck. It's not going to change. What's going to change is what? I think in some way, be realistic. Once after the election is over and the midterms are done, you'll see a surge, a National Guard surge. You'll see a surge on a level you've never seen. Let me continue on. Here's Shadow of Ezra putting out some interesting stuff. Again, a lot of people saying, well, you know, it's all because of MAGA. It's all because of us. It's the anti-Israel crowd. It's all this. Listen to this. Former Hamas and Israeli intelligence member Mossad Hassan Youssef threatens to destroy America with secret advanced weapons. Oh, you mean the stuff that the Seymour Hersh wrote in 1992 called the Samson option. Is that what you're saying? Because Netanyahu has talked about this too. So you wonder why we push back and say, it's not us. We're just defending our position. They're saying, if you don't kneel to us, we'll kill you too. Well, that's what the Samson option is. It's a point of order to help what? Progress the idea that if our allies are not going to work with us and defend us, then our allies become the enemies, and our enemies are all over the place. And all I see is enemies everywhere, and we must take them out at whatever cost.
Israel's existence is not negotiable, and it does not depend on superpowers or the public opinion. And if they keep pushing Israel to the corner, they are the ones who are going to suffer the most.
Oh, sounds like a threat to me.
Israel has not used.
Is that not a threat?
Israel hasn't used everything that it has. And Israel, on a purpose, did not expose the advanced weapons that it has for a very important reason. We don't want the enemy to know what we are having. And now, at this point, we're just playing around.
Is this agitprop?
So
we're playing around?
This is the clear message.
Is this guy an actor?
To those who think that they can annihilate Israel. Behind Israel is existence.
Look, I don't know what to make of it. A lot of this fodder that comes out sounds like people just venting in some way. Sounds like things are just like people are just spinning their wheels. But are they? Can you take it seriously? That's why gas hasn't come down, ladies and gentlemen. You ask why? Because the big oil conglomerate looks at this type of rhetoric and says, this war is not over. In fact, this conflict may end with Israel dropping a nuke on Iran or on the United States or something else in play. That's why the numbers are still high, because they think we're going to go back to bombing because they don't believe anything that we're perceiving. That's why Trump is calling this out as fraud. He's saying, why are they holding back? They're holding back because of what? They don't believe that this armistice, this truce, or anything is real. They don't trust Israel. That's what they're saying. Their reaction could be simply put, we're hedging our bets and saying, we're not going to lower our gas prices because of what we see. Our speculators tell us something is in play. And thus, if the prices are not summarily dropping at a greater level, that means something might be in play, and they know something. So hedge your bets on that. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I perceive it, and that's the way you should understand it. So the great genius Marco Rubio smacks down reporters suggesting Israel is interested in undermining President Trump. Look, I like Marco Rubio, great Secretary of State. But after what you just heard and how he chides this reporter, you know what? I just think that Marco should have a little bit more, let's just say, understanding that the rhetoric that's coming out of Israel, whether you think it's bullshit or not, you should take that into consideration that other people are seeing this. You shouldn't be automatically saying it's nothing. All these people are bloviating. Then say that. Tell the people they're bullshit. It's all lies. Listen to this. This is what I hate.
Do you believe, as some elements of U.S. intelligence have assessed, that Israel is interested in undermining the current MOU?
I don't know what intelligence are you talking about? Where are you
It's
getting that
been
from?
reported.
Well, but it's being reported.
Well,
Then it's fake.
do you
No,
believe
I haven't.
that to be true?
I don't know where you're getting that stuff from. We're working on this. The Israelis are exactly know what we're working on. All of our partners in the region know what we're working on. Everybody understands what the president's red lines and positions are on this. I don't know what reports you're referencing.
See, that's my point. Look, I understand, but when you hear this, is that other reporters are picking this up and saying, wait a minute, you have this type of rhetoric that's coming out of Israel, and you're saying that it's nothing to be concerned about. It's all fake. All these people are actors. They're playing their part. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. Well, that's a sign of comfort for us. Former Hamas and Israeli intelligence member of Mossad, Hussein Yusuf, again, admits President Trump has destroyed Israel's war strategy for Iran. Listen to this.
I've been saying this from day one.
What do you think about
I did
this?
not want Trump's involvement in this war because he has been a disadvantage.
Ooh.
And as I said, I only represent myself.
Who is this
He
guy?
does not understand war.
It's this guy.
And he wants Israel to work according to his schedule. And he wants Mossad to be ready any moment. When we had the upper hand, he killed the opportunity. And we were not ready. He rushed. Help is on the way. This is not how it works. This is the recipe for a disaster.
Is this central casting?
And I saw that
Is this
coming
all bullshit?
before they went to the war. But anyway, who does go to war on a schedule? When you go to war, especially against such power.
You know what he said? Who goes to war on a schedule? Now, that's an interesting comment. Let's continue.
Powerful enemy. You don't say, I want to finish it in 5 weeks. Nobody go to the war on a schedule. And when you go to war, you better be ready, not only for winning. Defeat is possible. Death is possible. You don't go to war only thinking about winning and victory. That's not the quality of people who really and actually want to accomplish.
I don't know. What do you think about that? We got to dip out. I think Trump's coming on. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that, but it's a very odd claim that he is suggesting that there was a timetable in place and they knew when this was going to end, when this was going to begin, when this was going to end, whether they want to take part of this. Let's see what's going on. Uh-oh. They're singing all this music, so let's listen. Come on! Caroline. Yeah, that song's a pedophile song, if anybody knows who sung it, what that song was about. It's a pedophile song. And the fact that that is proliferated out, do your due diligence to look up that song. Darla, gift of the can. Brett, you're so right. My husband is like, when's your show coming on? He loves your take on the world. I do too. Thank you. Light a fire on the people's asses. Wake the fuck up, dumbasses. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Darla. Thank you, Darla's husband. Trump won gift of the cookie. Good to see you. Darla, gift of the can. The only thing that bothers me is they're posting about 50 to 100 years in prison. If demon rats get back in charge, I don't care if it's 1,000 years. They will pardon them all. You know, that's a really good point. And I don't think anybody's making that specious claim. And that specious claim is realistic because they will do that. I mean, just like President Trump pardoned all January 6th because he had no choice. And they'll look at that as the same type of thing while they're still going after us. Remember, losing the midterms is they're gonna impeach Trump. They're gonna come after us. If they take the House, it's done. The Senate, people are like, well, we could block it in the Senate because the Senate's do nothing. I'm not sure about that. Thea, thank you for the cookie. Darla, gift to the can. Social Security was never going broke, or they were stealing from it. Exactly. And that's why all those billions and all that money that is being recouped, we're going to recoup so much money, we don't even know what it is. Thank you, Thea, for the cookie. Trusty, turn up the cookie. Thank you for airing this. Yes, you're welcome. Thank you all for supporting the platform. I appreciate everybody here. Who's here on Rumble? Where are you guys? I guess we're all quiet on YouTube. Nobody's over here, so I'll move this over here. I guess I pissed a couple of people off on Monday. I don't really care. Whatever. I'm dinged over there left and right. I'm attacked over there left and right. Whatever. Yeah, it's hate speech. Yeah, what's going on? Good to see everybody over there. Drop us a Rumble. Let's hear your comments. Let's hear your thoughts. I'm just playing this music back and forth. I want to break up the monotony. I'm waiting for President Trump. This was the whole point of this show discussion, was to listen to his remarks because I knew this was going to be a rally. And, you know, did I realize that he was going to come on late at this late? I mean, it's 8:35. I mean, I would have just went to my normal time and would have been and cut that half hour out. Obla-dee, obla-da, life goes on, blah, blah, blah. All right. There it is. Oh, they're putting up the seal. Okay, so he's coming out. They're putting up the seal. They're getting ready. Okay, so he's coming, so we'll stand by. I'll be right back. So it looks like Trump is about to appear. They just put the seal on. What did you think about what I was talking about earlier? I mean, so you have conflicting viewpoints with. Now you have the Democrat Party claiming all anti-Semitism why they're losing. You have Marco Rubio saying, well, we don't hear anything about Israel. That's all that. But yet you have people from Mossad making these arguments. It's all subterfuge. Is this all sabotage? Is this all part of the propagandist deception management? Probably. Let me show you one thing. We'll dip out of this real quickly. I'll be right back with this. I want to show you this before we go back into it because I want to set up for this because this is the whole point for the show. So I don't want to let me move this over. All right. Here we go. So this came out today. Mario Nawfal puts this out. A new book lays out how brutally Trump strong-armed Netanyahu into the Iran deal. So there's a book out by New York Times, Regime Change, by Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan. And it appears that a lot of the stuff that's in the book is factually true. And I wanted to do a show on this and stuff, and I have other articles about this, but we'll just go over this rather quickly. Trump told Israeli leader he was sick of his antics, that is Bibi Netanyahu, reminding him he had done everything to protect him and insisted he could not back out. Wow. I've done everything to protect you. You better fucking go along with this. It's been going on for too fucking long. Everybody's sick of you, Bibi. All the Jews are sick of you. Wow. Even the 2 Jews on this call are sick of you. Wow. You can't. I wonder who that is. That's Steve Witkoff and probably his brother, his son-in-law, Kushner. Back out of this. I'm the best friend ever. You can't back out of this. I'm the best friend ever. That's what that Mossad guy was saying. Forcing this timetable upon them. I'm the best friend that Israel you ever had. Everybody hates you. I've stood by you. I'm telling you, this is a great deal. The you'll be on your own warnings were the polite public version. This is reportedly what it sounded like behind the door. Trump didn't persuade Netanyahu into the deal. He steamrolled him into that. This is coming out from the leftist New York Times, Maggie Haberman book. And this seems to be now perusing through out there, and it's now putting emphasis on that President Trump controlled this from day one, invoking everything he spent protecting him. And as a debt that is now coming due, wow. I used that in one of my titles as a deferred discussion. Look back onto the deferred payment discussion I said. The debt coming due now. I talked about this on one of my shows last week. It settles the question that ran the whole war for 118 days. The mystery was whether Trump controlled Netanyahu or in the reverse. President screaming, you can't back out of this, down the phone. It is not a man being led. Wow. Let's see if look at that. Trump said, all the Jews are sick of you. Hours later, and there you go. So if anybody has any hesitation about that, clearly Mossad has a problem with President Trump because they're all out there clamoring. But look, the bottom line is Israel is not going to do anything because they're going to look like the aggressor. Even our own country, our own president, our own intelligence, our own State Department is going to throw them under the bus. And I think in some way, what they're suggesting, what they're actually positing is simply if they push a narrative that could be really ugly to carpet bomb Lebanon and extend this war, good luck. We'll show everybody what you did. So there we are.
Oh, America, hear you from your prairies to the sea. Your mountains grand and all through this land, you are beautiful to me. Oh, America, I can hear you calling me. You are calling me to be true to thee, true to thee. I will be, and I will answer you. Do all that I can do, and we will be at one.
I mean, can you just feel? This is July 4th. This is America. Get into it. Come on. This is our holiday. This is us. This is who we are. While all these other fucking people are doing shit, making things worse for themselves in this country, show who you are. Show how you love this country. Because that's the only thing that matters. Everything else will be taken care of. It doesn't even matter about these people. Have you ever seen any of this? When was the last fucking 5 presidents that did any of this stuff? They don't do any of this. That UFC fight was amazing. Yes, he did. Yes. I'm sorry. Trump won. Yes. He's going to sing. They'll probably close out. They'll probably close out a little bit. What's up, Truth Aaron? Here it is. Here is everybody's favorite. Nessun Dorma.
Nella tua fredda stanza, guardi le stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me, il nome mio nessun saprà.
Come on! Look at the translation on the bottom. It's pretty cool. Look at the bottom. They translate it. I've seen so many operettas with Nosin Dorman, and it's just great. Everybody's a different version of it. But it's a great track. It's fantastic. He does it great. There's a lot of passion in it. You either love opera or you don't. So it's like, there's no in between. I used to love going to opera, but my wife doesn't. She likes plays and shit. Whatever. She's a libtard. Love opera. No guy doing sign language. That's a good one. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe that's all gay and stuff. I don't know. I mean, is it retarded? I mean, that's why they're putting out the words. They're translating on the bottom. You know, like on your TV, if you got a hearing issue. Oh, this band is great. He usually does this, you know, with him and a bunch of, you know, singers. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's amazing. This whole thing is amazing. And it would have never been happening without Trump. Do you think Rotten Box would do this? He'd be in a bunker praying we wouldn't be fucking bombarded by nuclear missiles from fucking North Korea or Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, preparing to perform the greatest patriotic anthem of all time. God bless the USA.
Here we go, Lee Greenwood.
Please welcome American icon and Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter, Lee Greenwood.
Oh! This guy is like, what, late 70s? And he's got vocals that still pipe out.
America.
Look at him.
Freedom 250.
I love this guy. This guy cracks me up.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, because our flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
No! Come on!
Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce you, the 45th President of the United States and the 47th President of the United States, our Commander-in-Chief.
I was only 2 hours late
Donald
starting
J.
the show.
Trump.
Here we go. I knew it was going to go long.
Across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA.
Oh, see, they had to put up the glass, too.
Pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say
He's outside the glass.
that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. Because there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
You can't sing that song without loving this country. You can't. Not without passion, without fervor, and without reality and doubt.
At least I know I'm free.
Look at that.
The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. I love this land. God bless the God bless our president.
Look at that. Class act. That guy's fucking class act, man.
Well, thank you, Lee, and hello, Washington, and a very big hello to America. Thank you.
I'm going to turn off the
10
music.
days from now, our country will celebrate one of the most monumental milestones in human history. We will mark 250 years of glorious American freedom. In 1776, our founding fathers met in Philadelphia and changed the world forever and ever with a thing called the Declaration of Independence. They proclaimed the eternal truth that we are endowed by our Creator with the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all made, and you know that, free and equal by the hand of Almighty God. Those timeless American principles did not just win a revolution, but they built us into the greatest, strongest, and most exceptional nation the world has ever known. There has never been anything like the United States of America, and together we are making it bigger and better and stronger and far more exceptional than ever before. Today, we have the largest economy on earth. We have the strongest military on earth. We have the most powerful technology on earth. We have the greatest culture on earth. And above all, we have the greatest people on earth. Greatest. Tonight, as we stand on the edge of our 250th year of independence, I am thrilled to declare that America is back. As you know very well, a short time ago, we were a dead country. We were dead. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're respected by everybody. Nobody's laughing at us anymore. 2 years ago, they were laughing. Now we're the most respected anywhere. Think of it, anywhere in the world. Where were we 2 years ago? We weren't respected. We were a joke. We're not a joke anymore. Most powerful country in the world. But just like those patriots of 1776, over the past 17 months, we have taken power back from the far-off political class. They're trying to gain it back, but it's not going to happen. We have reclaimed our sovereignty, regained our liberty, restored our prosperity, and we have saved our country. In all things, we're once again putting a thing called America first. And last week, we signed a historic agreement to end the conflict with Iran, fully open the Strait of Hormuz, and accomplish what no president has ever been able to accomplish before. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's done. And thanks to the power and skill of the United States Armed Forces, today Iran has no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft capacity, no missile launches, no manufacturing, and their leadership has been obliterated. And for the first time in 3,000 years, we are finally going to have peace in the Middle East. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. Since the agreement, the stock market and your 401ks are skyrocketing upward, and oil prices are plummeting downward. Today, it hit a new low, and the world is a much safer place. We had to make that little journey to Iran to do what we did. Very soon, you'll be at $2.50 a gallon for gasoline. And even lower than that, just like it was before we took the nuclear weapon away from Iran, and it will be away from Iran for a very long time. Forever, really. In my first term, I rebuilt our military and created the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in history. And now we are going to blow that away. We're doing better, much better than even the first term. America's 250th year is set for an economic boom, the lights of which no nation has ever seen before. No nation has ever been in the place that we are right now. In 4 long years of the last administration, which was a total disaster, they got less than $1 trillion of new investment in our country. That's less than $1 trillion in 4 years. In my first 11 months, we secured commitments for $19.1 trillion of new investment from all over the globe, and they're building factories and plants, and they're building everything all over our country. The stock market is set 73 all-time record highs since the election, and more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Thank you. On the 4th of July, 1 year ago, I signed the largest tax cuts in American history, the largest spending cuts in American history, and the largest regulation cuts in American history by far. In the American Revolution, they had a saying, no tax on tea. But with the great big beautiful bill, we did even better. We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans. You go out and buy an automobile. The interest on the loan is fully tax deductible, never happened before, but only if the car happens to be made in America. And we're setting records in automobile construction. Our country is strong again, our country is wealthy again, and our country is safe again. In January 2025, we inherited the worst, most dangerous, most wide open and insecure border in history. And we have quickly turned it into the strongest, most secure border in the history of our country. For the past 13 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States. 0. We're removing murderers, gang members, drug dealers, and dangerous criminals by the thousands. They came in through a ridiculous open border. I want to say a very special thanks to all of the men and women who have helped liberate America from this scourge, the heroes of ICE and Border Patrol. You are heroes. You are heroes.
Yes, they are.
With the help of our law enforcement heroes, in 2025, we achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's the year 1900. We cut the flow of fentanyl across our border by 66%. Drugs coming in by ocean or by sea are down 97%. And Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest, most beautiful cities anywhere in the United States of America. For many years, our country was ruled by politicians who let America and its capital fall into decline and total disrepair. The city named in honor of General George Washington was turned into a national disgrace, but not anymore. Today, the homeless encampments are gone. The graffiti is gone. Since I took office, more than 50 monuments and memorials have been repaired and beautified. Dozens of statues have been cleaned and they look so nice. 22 fountains have been fixed. At Union Station, the statue of
22.
Christopher Columbus is clean and fountain. That fountain is flowing and it looks so beautiful. I just looked at it. Coming over, it is so beautiful.
there you
That
go.
white
Underneath,
marble is nice and clean. There's no more
for the hearing
graffiti
impaired,
stains
you
all
can see
over
at the
it.
bottom.
The water is cascading at Meridian Hill Park. And I am personally, along with Doug and some of my friends, renovating Lafayette Square at the front door of the White House, and it's going to be beautiful and opens in a short period of time. And the reflecting pool that you've heard so much about, which is so incredible, it's been gruesomely vandalized by thugs, bad people. But soon will be looking as beautiful as it looked just 2 weeks ago. In fact, I looked at it just a little while ago. It looks perfect already. But we're fixing it. The vandals got to it. They've largely been caught and are being prosecuted. We can't let that happen to our country. Can't let that happen. But it looks beautiful. Under the Trump administration, America is once again a nation of self-respect, dignity, and pride. Under our leadership, America will also be a nation that dares to dream and to build again. We want to build again and dream again. The American dream is alive again. That's something that nobody thought they'd be saying when you went through that last 4 years of incompetence. For the 100th anniversary of our founding in 1876, America completed the Washington Monument, and the work began on the Statue of Liberty. For our 150th year, we built Colonial Williamsburg. Remember that, Colonial Williamsburg, how beautiful it was. For the 200th year, we built the National Air and Space Museum and renovated the United States Capitol. For our 250th anniversary, we are likewise building new monuments to American greatness to serve every future president and first lady. We're building the Most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world, right at the White House. Right at the White House. It's going to be completed very soon. And just across the bridge in front of Arlington Cemetery, we're building a magnificent, really beautiful. This is going to be something you're going to like, a totally magnificent triumphal arch to honor the 250-year triumph of the American spirit, American military, and frankly, American competence. In West Potomac Park, we are creating the National Garden of American Heroes, featuring 250 or more statues of the greatest Americans who have ever lived. It's going to be beautiful. And next week at Freedom Plaza, we will unveil the Spirit of 76 exhibition honoring the heroes and martyrs of the American Revolution. And remember, 1776, what a time that was. Where we've come from there, what a date it is. It's a date like no other date. From Athens to Rome, from London to Paris, from New York to LA, and from all of the other parts of the world, the great civilizations of history did not wallow in aging ruins of the past. They built new cities, they created new monuments, and they forged towering legacies that still inspire the world after hundreds and even thousands of years. As America turns 250 years old, young by comparison to some, but superior to any nation that's ever been built, no matter how many years it took. We are the inheritors of these incredible traditions. We are the ones who are carrying forward the light of Western civilization, because this is the very beginning of the golden age of America. We're in the golden age. There's never been an age like this. There's never been an age like this. This anniversary is a time to be proud of our past, but it is also a time to lift our sights, expand our ambitions, and raise our expectations of what America can be. We will leave our children nothing less than the richest inheritance, most advanced civilization, and highest standard of living in human history. There's never been anything like it. But with all of that being said, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. I'm very pleased to be joined tonight by our great Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Mike, thank you. Stand up, Mike. He's been great. Attorney General Todd Blanche. Todd, thank you. Secretary of the Interior, who works with me so hard on the monuments and the fountains. He loves it like I do. Doug Burgum. Doug, thank you very much. Secretary of Agriculture, and those prices are tumbling down. They're tumbling down. We inherited a mess. Brooke Rollins. Thank you, Brooke. Secretary of Labor, Keith Sonderling. Secretary of Transportation, you heard him, and he's great. Sean Duffy. Sean, thank you. Our wonderful Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma. Acting Director of National Intelligence, Bill Pulte.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. FBI Director, Kash Patel. CMS Administrator, and he's doing a fantastic job, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Ambassador Monica Crowley. Thank you, Monica.
She's great.
And countless members, so many members
I like
of
her.
Congress. I will not go over the names. And senators, we appreciate that you're here. This is a very special night. Thank you all very much, the Senate and the House. As you know, over the past few weeks, America has been proudly hosting the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and it's setting attendance records and television rating records like never before. Who would have thought this was going to happen? They would say it's not our primary sport, but it's happening. And I want to just congratulate my friend, FIFA President Gianni Infantino. He's been fantastic to deal with, and he's very happy. Everything is a record. It's like having a Super Bowl every day. And I know everyone joins me in wishing Team USA good luck in their match tomorrow against Turkey and Los Angeles.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I got to look at those odds.
Every day of my administration, we're delivering one historic victory after the next for the American people. We're unleashing American energy dominance and drill, baby, drill. You remember during the campaign, drill, baby, drill. And America is now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined. And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Who would think that if you took down 0.5%, somebody said you were a genius, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800%? Nobody's seen anything like it. We had the highest drug prices in the world, and now we're going to be having the lowest drug prices in the world. And you think that was easy? It wasn't. For decades, Americans paid the highest prices. Think of that. There's never been a time where when I took this over, the highest prices, and now, just remember, you go to trumprx.gov and you get what you're looking for at prices so much lower that a lot of people don't even believe it's happening. We passed the largest ever investment in the United States military, more than $1 trillion. And this year, all made in the USA, we're going to be asking Pete Hegseth and General Raisin Kane and all of us, we're going to, and by the way, how good is our military? How good is our military? One week, Iran was essentially finished. In 1 hour, Venezuela was finished. And I guess we have other things in store, but we don't want to get carried away. Recruitment for every branch of our armed forces, so importantly, is setting records. 18 months ago, we had shortages, and now we have waiting lists. We couldn't get people to join the military. None of them, none of the branches. They were all dying to get people. They couldn't. Then the thing happened on November 5th. It's called a great election victory. And from that moment on, now you can't even get into the military. We have waiting lists to get into the military and to become policemen and to become firemen. It's really fantastic what's happened. The spirit in this country is like from a different planet from what it was a year and a half ago. In a flawless and breathtaking operation earlier this year, America's armed forces captured the outlaw dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and brought him back to face American justice. One of the great military raids in history, if you remember. And here at home, we abolished DEI across the entire federal government. We don't want DEI. And we got critical race theory out of our schools. And I signed the largest expansion of school choice in history. And we have begun the process of abolishing the Federal Department of Education. Thank you, Linda. Because we're sending education back to the states where it belongs. We banned the transgender mutilation of children. And we made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. We got men out of women's sports. We renamed the Gulf of Mexico after 350 years.
Wow.
They are 100
Listen to
years
this. This is
older than
awesome.
we are. We named the
No,
Gulf of Mexico.
I'm just asking
The Gulf
questions. You
of
guys are funny in the
America.
chat. Thank you, Wood USA. You're funny. Darrell, I was just asking
And
questions.
restored
Thank you for the
name
can.
of a great president,
You're welcome.
William McKinley, to
I know you
Mount
guys would like it,
McKinley,
but I
where it
love doing
belongs.
this. I know you
And
love
tonight,
this.
right here on the National Mall, we are beginning the most unforgettable birthday party any country has ever seen. Oh, you're going to have a good time.
Uh-oh.
You're going to have a good
Oh,
time.
we're going to have a great time.
This evening, it's my honor to officially kick off the celebration with the Great American State Fair. It's going to be great. It's going to be unbelievable. So from today through July 10th, this event will showcase all 56 states and territories. There will be no military flyovers, And I
Uh-oh.
want to tell you something, because they're going to be beyond flyovers. There'll be something like you've never seen. You get just a little tiny glimpse
They're
of it
dropping
today.
fake
By the way,
bombs that are
how
like balloons.
good is our Air Force? How good is our...
They're
Nobody's
gonna
ever seen
dropping all
those
these.
planes.
That's
They
what
are
I heard. They're
serious
going to
planes.
drop stuff for people
When
to
the
like
bad
pick
guys
up.
see those planes coming, they say, we give up. But we're going to have special performances, patriotic music, high-tech demonstrations, unique exhibitions, a FIFA fan zone, which is great. And it
Wouldn't that
really
be
has
cool that they
been
do a
big
fly
stuff,
when they
and
just
even
drop
an
all these things as
old-fashioned
gifts and
rodeo.
stuff?
I love rodeo.
And there's
I
like
don't
all
know
these
how they
different
do it.
packages with
I
gifts
don't
and
know
money.
how they do it.
That would be cool.
Then on July
I mean,
4th,
just like,
we
you
will
know,
have the greatest show of all on
I
the
don't know. That's
National
just me.
Mall. Your favorite president will be speaking. So please show up.
When is that?
Because if we have 2 empty seats, you know what's going to happen? The fake news is going to say,
When is
"He didn't
that?"
fill out the arena."
On July 4th.
No,
Okay.
I'll be
Gotcha.
speaking. I'll be very proudly speaking as we
Yeah.
ring in our 250th
I'm
year with
covering
the
it.
largest fireworks display
Yeah, I'm
in
covering
world history, 10 times larger than any that we've ever done in Washington or in the United
Yeah, I
States.
think it is
So
Trusty
if
Turnip.
you
They're
like
not doing,
fireworks,
but we'll see fireworks from all over places, from South
then in
Dakota
August,
and
we're
all these other
going to
places.
have
But
what's
yeah,
called
they're
the
going to do it in
Patriot
DC.
Games, a first of its kind competition featuring the greatest high school athletes from all across the United States. And applications are open through July 10th. These are the best athletes in the country, young athletes. And soon thereafter, we'll have a Freedom 250 Grand Prix right here in Washington around the Capitol. That's the great Roger Penske. Roger Penske. It's going to be an Indy race that they've been trying to get. He said
That's
we've been
what I
trying
want.
to get it for 29
That's
years.
what I want to watch.
We came to Washington over 200
Oh my God,
times.
love racing. Yeah,
With
I can't
US
wait.
President, we came here half an hour and it was
You know how
done.
cool that's going to be?
So we're going to have
man.
Indy wrapping around the Capitol
God,
down
I'm gonna be
Pennsylvania Avenue. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's in August. In conclusion, 250 years ago, a new nation was founded by farmers and soldiers, shopkeepers and tradesmen who stood strong to defend their rights, their families, and
I'm
their
covering it.
freedom from tyranny.
We're gonna bike
across the
ride early,
sea,
and we've been doing a
from
lot because
every
it's
city and
95
town,
degrees
from the mountains
early
and
on during the
valleys,
day.
from the backwoods
I'm
and
not going to
rocky
any
shores.
event. She hates
They came
fireworks.
by the
Whatever.
thousands to fill the ranks
Maybe
of
I'll
American
fucking put her head in the
patriots and enlist
toilet while the
their
fireworks go. No,
lives
I'm
in the
just joking.
righteous cause of
But I'm
independence. That's what
I'm
they
going to do
did.
a show. I think
This
I'm going to do a
exceptional
show
nation was
because I want to
forged
watch
and
it
won by
live.
some of the
I don't want to
bravest,
watch it on
toughest,
TV. I want to do it
strongest,
with you guys.
most extraordinary people ever to stride the earth.
Yeah, I'm doing
Together
that.
we stand on
I'm
the
exactly
shoulders
in it.
of
I'm all in on it.
incomparable heroes such as George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams,
Oh yeah.
Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, John Paul Jones, John Hancock at Lexington and Concord, Brooklyn and Saratoga, Trenton and Yorktown, and at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. These real-life legends and American icons poured out their blood, sweat, and tears and risked everything they had to purchase and to live the most priceless and glorious inheritance of any people ever to be on this earth. They all lived by the oath that Patrick Henry made immortal: give me liberty or give me death.
How about we hang people on the White House lawn or in the I mean, dude,
For
it's going to be
250
hanging in
years,
this
every
carnival.
generation of Americans have taken up the same call to freedom, from the storied alleys of Boston to the streets of Philadelphia, from the golden fields of Michigan to the gleaming shores of California, and from Texas to Florida to right here in now beautiful and extremely safe Washington, D.C. Our American ancestors fought and won the most vicious battles. They explored and settled the most dangerous frontiers and let no challenge ever break their spirit or their pride. They were proud to be Americans. They love our country. They look down on us now. They love our people. Americans crossed the Great Plains, scaled the mighty Rockies, tamed the Wild West, and turned this continent into industrial powerhouses like nobody has ever seen. We laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built the great highways, invented the airplane, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism. We're going to have to do that again. And led humanity into space And we did it all in the span of just 250 years. Now we are expanding the glory of American freedom into into a horizon that's never been seen before. We've never reached so high as we're reaching right now. This is our heritage. This is our history. And this is the destiny of America, to be the greatest, most incredible country ever to
Our
grace the
destiny.
earth.
You hear that?
We are one people, one nation, marching into one magnificent future under our great American flag that we love and respect so much. And tonight we prepare to enter our 250th year. We are more determined than ever to remember these phrases. You've heard them many times before. We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, America. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Is he going to dip? You dip, I dip, we dip. We all dip.
Round, I said, young man. Get down, I said, young man. Well, if it's time, there's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go, I said, young man.
You can't. Dude, what 80-year-old man does that? I mean, dude, honestly, no president acts like this. Listen, this is it. The next 2.5 years, you're not going to have this guy. You need to enjoy it. Fuck J.D. Vance. Fuck Marco Rubio. Fuck all of them. This is it. Is this the best we're going to get? I hope not. But we should enjoy it because it's absolutely glorious. It is absolutely glorious. And I can't tell you how much I love it. I don't know what to say to you all out there and stuff. I think in some way, I'm glad you stay with me in some way. Let me just play one last thing. This was from Trump's, I think this was from Trump's last rally. And we'll dip out of here. I don't want to just like cut you off and stuff. I mean, there's so many. You guys, Darla L, Wood USA. Some of your commentary makes me want to cry. Darla, thank you for the can. Thank you, Brett, for covering this event. Wood USA for the 709 gold pills. Thank you for supporting the stream. Darla, thank you, Brett. My hubs is focused. Finally, laugh out loud with his hand over his heart. God bless you and everyone. Hey, look, I mean, I'm not, I'm just glad that, the proactive, everybody's proactive. And I love doing these things. When I started this, when I left Badlands and and then I went right 2024 to do my show. I was still doing stuff with Thomas, but I wanted to have my own show and my own freedom. And yeah, it's worked out. I don't have the numbers like people have 200, 300,000, but I have you. I don't really care if people sign up, they, sign up, blah, blah, blah. But I have a great audience on Rumble, YouTube. I mean, I can't believe I have 100 people on YouTube. I don't know where they are. They just watch that after and make comments later. I mean, Rumble, it's like all over the place. But, it's ultimately when I see a lot of people and stuff, Darla, I give the can, Brett, you're so right. My husband is like, when your show is coming on, he loves when you take on the world. I do too. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Light a fire. Yeah, I mean, I don't toe a line of anybody's thought pattern. I toe my own line. People ask me about Q and all this other stuff. I'm just like, look, man, I'm not the guy. Okay. There are other people that are the guy or the gals or multiple guys. I'm just not the guy. I'll report it. I'm okay with how people talk about it. I'm just not the expert. I'm not the guy that goes decoder ring. I'm just not. I'm not making fun of it. I'm just not the guy. I'm saying you're in the wrong world in some way. I mean, someone wanted to debate me about it. I'm like, why do you want to debate me about it? I'm not an expert about it. I mean, if you want to debate me about other things, let's go. But I mean, I don't know why anybody would suggest that I am not. I'm completely the opposite of that. And I also hold that anybody who wants to hold a platform and do what they want to do to showcase whatever they want to do, I'm all for it. I'm not here to attack anybody. Everybody can run their fucking platform the way they want. I don't really give a shit. Who am I to dictate? I'm nobody. And I expect big name accounts do the same, not dictate who and what and where and what. Just be yourself, be your own, and be responsible for who you are. That's the ultimate time, Darla. Oh, yes, all the seeds, the fake alien invasion. Oh, yeah. What happened, Darla L, to all the alien stuff? I mean, it just withered and died. I mean, we got a second drop. Nothing happened. What happens to MAGA when Trump is gone? Well, RMC, let me tell you something right now. Look, I ponder it every day. And I would, last week, I had some fights with people and stuff because, I was pointing out that how I was suggesting in some way that that the vice president was showing his ass. He was doing a great job. He was actually, really helping himself in some way. President Trump is giving him the quarter, and only President Trump will make the determination who will be the next president. Let's be clear about that. Whoever the next president will be based upon who President Trump nominates. That's it. So why you want to glorify Marco Rubio or this guy or Tulsi Gabbard? It's not on our wheelhouse. And you could play Kalishi market, Poly market. You could bet on it. It doesn't matter. Has he shined? Yeah. He showed who he has the chops. Doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to fall into these parameters. I mean, he's got 3 kids. He's got 1 on his way. He might not want to do this. You have to consider that. More coming, Brett. Lots more. We'll talk offline at some point. Yeah. Just DM me. Look, what I'm saying is right now, please enjoy. And this is what I say all the time. Some people get caught up in the hullabaloo, what I say about certain people and stuff where, but I always reflect back upon this ideology. Look how long it took for him to get back here. And we're sitting here like waiting who's going to be the next guy in 2.5, 3 years. You need to simply enjoy this. You need to put your foot down and simply coalesce and wrap your arms around this. This is it. I couldn't wait for this guy to come back. I couldn't. And then everybody's like, because I ran. Fuck that. Fuck all these people. Who cares? If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the first term, which Rotten Box would just basically nuke our country. We wouldn't have the second term, showcasing what they did in the second term, which is basically an example of that. If they get power, they're going to put you in jail. They're going to execute you. I mean, it's over. Everything that Trump has shown you, whether the first term, the interval, the stolen election, and the second term, is just what? To say, look, if we don't increase our numbers, if we don't coalesce, if we don't stand strong about this, and yes, Republicans have to, because there's no third party option. No one's dipping out. You got to stand strong. If we don't do this, it's over. And they will find a way. If they take the House, it's going to be ugly. It'll be over. But if we have the House and they take the Senate, that'll be a different story. But I have a feeling right now we're not going to lose either. I think we'll gain some numbers. We might lose in the Senate, but not by much. But we'll get rid of the rhino cucks in general. But ultimately, you have to look at it this way. Our future is going to be rest upon or rest assured about how we participate in these midterms. Because if you think that, like, in your own primary states that you don't have to vote, you don't have to do anything, it's all going to be taken care of. No. I mean, how did it work out for South Carolina with Lindsey Graham? Did you think a lot of people wanted Lindsey Graham? Lindsey Graham is obviously the Trump national favorite because he's the wind-up doll that they had the most amount of compliment on, that he will just say and do whatever they want. I mean, there are many other things. I mean, I mean, how did President Trump in the South Carolina governorship just said, I'm picking both of them. Whoever wins, so be it. I mean, how about that? Pam Evitt lost. Nelson won by like 71%. Crushed her. Throw a gift to the can. Hey, I'm Blockwood USA. I don't know how he got blocked. Did I block him? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I didn't block him. Who blocked him? I'm looking. Put user. Time out. I have to look. No way. I didn't block him. Who blocked you? Would USA blocked you? No way. I got to look at it. Hold on a second. Let me get out of this. Let me go into it. I got to release the pills anyway. What are you talking about? See, this is what I'm saying. These are the oddities. I'm dealing with all these other cuckoo stuff. Hold on a second. No one's blocked here. Let's see. You're not. I'm looking through it right now. You're not blocked. What the fuck? I'm looking at 5 block. You're not one of them. So I just looked on the 5 block. You're not one of them. So I don't know what's going on. You're not. I'm going to like, what the fuck? You're not blocked. Who the fuck? You're not blocked on my end. I have to go through this. Hold on. Let me get out of this. All right. Let me release the pills and go through this, but I'll find out what the fuck is going on. No one blocked you. Dude, let me tell you right now. No way. No. Oh, so Wood USA is not blocked. So who's fucking with me? Are you guys fucking with me? Is everybody fucking with me tonight? I'm sorry. All right. Are you guys fucking with me? I just released the gold pills. Let me know you got it and stuff. I mean, seriously. So you got the pills then, Wood USA. You're not blocked. You guys are fucking with me. He's all over my stream. He's saying he's blocked. It's not true because it would come up. Like, you get a pop-up and it would pop up. I'm like, why? First of all, why would I block you? Why would I block anybody? You know, even the retards that came in that 1 week, like last week on a Friday, I didn't block any of them. I left them alone. And they're like, fuck you and die. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't even have the time. Okay. So I released all the pills and it's good to have, you know what? I miss this because when I started the show back in 2024 after, you know, and I still do other things when I wasn't allowed to do stuff. Yeah, no problem. Wood USA. It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's miscommunication. It's all fine. I would know immediately if it would pop up. But, you know, when I started, I was doing all the rallies in 2024 and everybody was partaking. I would stay on for 4 or 5. I did the Butler shooting. Right? I watched it live. I actually moved that to another server live. I have all the footage of that. We purposely, my wife stored it away so it can never be, you know, but I have to tell you right now, and all the rallies and stuff, and I miss doing it. I love doing the rallies with you guys. I know people like, I don't like to do the rallies and stuff. Well, yeah, because it's like, well, you don't make money and stuff. I just like doing the rallies. I like doing it with people. I'd rather do it with you than watch it by myself. It's just more fun, you know, because I get the caveats and stuff like that. All right. Well, you know what? That's our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody. I will return on Friday for the call-in show, for the Rise call-in show. Have a good evening. I'm glad you guys were here. It's been a long night. I think I've been going almost 3 hours. I want to thank everybody out there for supporting the platform. Who's the top tiers out here? So we got, all right, so all the top tiers out there that are supporting the platform. Darla 1.6, Thea 1.5, Wood USA with 928. I want to thank everybody out there. Sorry about the mix-up, Wood USA, but it wasn't me. Have a good evening. I shall return on Friday, and we might have a guest host coming in. I'm working on that deal, so we shall see. Have a good night. Be well. Be safe. Take care. Bye.